And we're back! In this episode, you're expected to familiarize yourself with modal verbs of prohibition. You're also expected to write sentence using modal verbs of prohibition. Thus, our topic for today is modal verbs of prohibition. Will you please say our topic? That's nice! Modal verbs of prohibition. As discussed yesterday, modal verbs are special type of verbs because they cannot be added with suffixes to change its form. It is paired with a main verb, thus it is called a helping verb. Like the modal verb, its main verb is also on its base form. That will be at all times. Our focus for today are modal verbs that express prohibition. By the way, what's the meaning of prohibition? Exact the meaning of prohibition from this sentence. People below 21 years are prohibited to get out of homes during ECQ. I repeat, people below 21 years are prohibited to get out of homes during ECQ. Based on the sentence, what therefore is the meaning of prohibit? That's correct. Prohibit means to prevent someone from doing something. The word prohibition is the opposite of the word permission. Am I clear? That's nice! Now, let's define modal verbs of prohibition. Modal verbs of prohibition are used as opposite of giving or asking permission. They are cannot, may not, and must not. They are in negative form and always added with the word not. Also, my dear grade 9 learners, modal verbs of prohibition is also often contracted in form. Do you have an idea when we say contracted in form? You have a very good point. When you say contracted, they are reduced by omitting the space in between the words. Also, in between letters of the word not. For example, the modal verb cannot can be contracted to can't, spelled as C-A-N''T. Can't. Is that clear? Very good. Why do you think modal verbs are contracted? Any idea? You have a very good point. They are contracted in order to make its utterance and writing more convenient and easier. This time, let's get to know more of the 3 modal verbs that express prohibition. Let's start with cannot. The modal verb cannot is the most commonly used modal verb to express prohibition. However, this modal verb is not formal. Cannot is usually used to show inability, but in this case, it shows prohibition. It is like you're saying you have no ability because of rules or specific situations. Did you get that? That's nice! Let's have this example to analyze this modal verb. Hexa cannot wear her uniform at the playground. I repeat, Hexa cannot wear her uniform at the playground. In this example, cannot is used to say that Hexa is prohibited to wear uniform while playing at the playground. Is that clear? Okay. Let's have another example. Donna can't fix the problem of her neighbor. Once again, Donna can't fix the problem of her neighbor. Why is the use of can't appropriate in this statement? Very good! That is because the use of can't in this sentence is more of expressing prohibition than just having the ability. Do you think it's polite to meddle in people's problem? Of course not. So, you're prohibited to fix their own problems. Am I clear? That's amazing! Now, let's proceed to the second modal verb of prohibition. It is the word may not. Like the modal verb cannot, may not may also be contracted to mayn't, spelled as M-A-Y-N''T. However, its contracted form is seldom used. It's because it's difficult to pronounce. Modal verb may not is the most formal way to prohibit something. Since it is the most formal, it is often seen in writing, announcements, and in books. Let's take this example. Employees may not smoke at the office. I repeat, employees may not smoke at the office. The modal verb used in this sentence is may not, since the context of this sentence is formal. How about this example? Students may not wear sando for the online class. Students may not wear sando for the online class. Why is may not the correct modal verb here? That's correct. It's because the situation is formal, so students are prohibited to wear sando. Did you get that?
Yay!
That's great! Let us now have the third modal verb of prohibition, and that is must not. Modal verb must not is the strongest way to prohibit something. In this case, we use must not to prohibit something that is urgent, very important, and a matter of life and death. A good example for this one is this sentence. My 5-year-old son must not play with matchsticks or lighter. I repeat, my 5-year-old son must not play with matchstick or lighter. We used must not in this sentence because the prohibition in this statement is very important. There can be fire if a 5-year-old boy plays with matchsticks or lighter. Is that clear? Very good. Let's have another example. Jared must not eat shrimp because he got allergy on it. Jared must not eat shrimp because he got allergies on it. Why is modal verb must not correct to be used in this sentence? You're right. It's because the meaning of the prohibition is a very important matter. Jared might be in danger if he eats shrimp. Did you understand that, class?
Yay!
That's impressive! On behalf of the scriptwriter of this episode and the Who SDO Isabella RBI production team headed by Sir J. Gallegos, this is your teacher on air, Teacher Johnny Iniego del Mundo. Always remember, if you want to lead, be the voice. See you next episode. Goodbye!